Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install a Tusk LED lighted whip kit on your side-by-side. Now these are going to be great for anyone that is either going to the sand dunes, a state park, or anywhere that requires a flag. They're available in 4-foot or 6-foot options. You can buy them individually or as a pair. And you've got over 350 lighting modes with these. So you've got some cool stuff you can do with them. You control all of that with this remote. You can save up to 16 of those modes on the remote, so they're easy to access. And as far as installation goes, it's really simple to do. Almost anyone can do it. So let's go ahead and get started. To get this done, we have our Tusk LED dual lighted whip kit. This is the 4-foot option. We've got 6-foot options, and you can buy the flags individually as well. It's going to come with all the necessary wiring. We've got some wire taps to get it connected, and it's got a remote to change all the colors on this flag. Now, with that being said, as far as mounting goes, these flags do come with a mount at the bottom, and a lot of machines, you're not going to have to buy anything additional. You'll just be able to bolt this on. They have a quick disconnect at the bottom when you need to take these off. Now, for us, we opted to go with these Tusk heavy duty adjustable flag mounts. They're going to go on the roll cage, and they're going to give us the best mounting spot for our machine. Now, to tie into power, all you need to do is tie into key on power. But if you have a power plug for auxiliary power, it's going to help you out a lot. This one's from Tusk, and if this is available for your machine, I highly recommend getting one. If you need any of this stuff, you can find it on our website or just click the link in the description below. But with all that said, let's head over to the machine and get this installed. The first step is to choose a mounting location for the lighted whips. A lot of machines are going to have a mounting location at the back of the bed. If you're going back here, you probably want the 6-foot lighted whips. For us, we've got these adjustable mounts, and these we're going to install at the top of our backbones. So we're going with the 4-foot lighted whips on this. And in either case, right at the bottom of your flag or your lighted whip, you've got this mount. And you're going to be using this either on your adjustable mount or the ones in the back of your bed. So we're going to go ahead and install these adjustable ones at the top of our backbone. And we can move this where we want it, tighten the bolts down. And then on these adjustable ones, you can run the flag however you want. So if you want it tilted back, that's fine. If you want to level it, that's fine too. All you have to do, crack that middle one loose, remove these 2 side bolts. Now we have the flag mount. You don't have to do this, but if you ever want to remove this and put it on something else, you're going to want to use a little anti-seize on here. Then a 19mm wrench is going to fit this bottom. You can use an adjustable wrench or a 26mm wrench to hold the top. I'm just going to use a tape measure, take that measurement, and then clip the lighted whip in place. And then I'm going to do those same steps on the other side. And the last step for mounting is to take a step back. You're going to check to make sure the flags are level side to side. You can see these are tipped in just a little bit, so we're going to adjust them out. Next, we're going to wire these up. Now, each lighted whip is going to come with a harness. You only need one. We're going to tie this harness into key on power. So a common place to tie into is at your tail lights. You've got a running light, and you can use a test light to check for power going there. You can use one of these power plugs. It's going to make it really easy. Or our machine actually has some accessory wires sitting right there, so it's super easy. But if you don't have those wires or a power plug, we're going to show you how to check for power using the test light at that tail light. To check for power, all we need to do is disconnect the connector from that tail light. You're going to hook a test light up to ground and then make sure it lights up by touching it to the positive side of the battery. Now we can turn our key on. So you can see that middle wire, we've got key on power, and if we turn it off, the light turns off as well. So we know on this machine, we can use this blue wire and use one of these wire taps that came in the kit. You can tie into that. You're also going to need to find a ground. This black wire should be a ground, but we can verify that by connecting the test light to the battery positive. Then we'll touch it on that connector, light lights up, so we know we've got a ground. So again, positive would go to that blue one, and then negative would go to this black wire. But just keep in mind that your machine is probably going to have different colors, but that's how you're going to check. If you are going to use one of these wire taps, all you need to do, this open end that's going to go around your wire, you're going to have to push that into place. You might have to spread this open just a little bit. So that's popped in there. And then if we're tying in the power wire, you just set that in all the way to the end. Make sure it's in there while you press this metal blade down. You'd use some pliers, clamp that down, and then you've got a plastic cover that clips into place on top. And then do that same thing for the ground wire. But since we're not tying in here, I'm going to go ahead and reconnect this. And for our machine, we're just adding these bullet connectors. All right here, KRX, we've got the accessory power and ground. So we're just plugging right into there, and we need to route the wires how they're going to be as we plug them in. We'll unplug the existing connectors, so it gives you the spade option as well. And plug the bullet connectors in. And I'll just route these wires into the bed. Now, one important thing to note, we have this control box that works with your remote. It's going to change the colors, turn your lighted whips on and off. And if you don't want this inside your cargo bed, you can always mount this down underneath here and get this zip tied to your frame. Now I'm just going to route this wire up the backbone, come up by the lighted whip, and now we need to tie in our Y splitter. So this is our power wire coming up. I've got the Y splitter right here. You want to start with the short end and connect these two. And when you line these up, there's going to be two little arrows on top. You're going to connect those since this is keyed. Make sure that little rubber gasket that's in place, we're going to screw that together. Now we have one more short cord coming from the Y splitter. We're going to connect that to our lighted whip on this side, and then the long end of the Y splitter, we're running this over to the other flag, and we're just going across the roll cage bar on the inside of the cab. Then we'll make our last connection. And we can go back through and tie everything down using some zip ties. And when you do that, just make sure you're not putting a lot of stress on these wires. You want to have a little bit of relief. Don't have them too tight. Now that we have everything hooked up, we're going to test it out. We're going to start by turning the key on, and we can hit the power button on our remote. Turns them on. First thing we want to do, we want to make sure that if someone else has the same kit, that they can't control our lights. So what you're going to do is hold the green button for 5 seconds. And as soon as it flashes like that, this remote can't control our lights. If you want to undo it, you can hit the white button for 5 seconds. As soon as that flashes, you can use other remotes with this. But we don't want that, so locking this one out. Now you've got 358 modes you can use with this. You can just simply scroll up through them with the remote. Some of them are moving lights. Some of them are solid. If you see something you like, you can make a custom playlist. The custom playlist can hold 16 modes. So all you have to do is hit Add DIY. So this is going to start out our custom list. We'll add a couple more to it. Add this one. And add that one. Now we should be able to scroll through the custom list. Makes it real easy to choose what you want. And if you want the lights to automatically go through the playlist, you're going to hit DIY and then hit the menu auto button. And it's just going to roll through that playlist. And if you want to do that for all 356 colors, you can hit this top button. Same thing, hit the menu button. And it's going to scroll through everything. Then if you just want solid colors, you've got red, white, green, blue. And if you want to decrease the intensity of the light, you can turn it down. You can press the speed button to increase it. And if you have moving lights, you can change the speed of how fast they move. So that's slowing it down. We can speed it all the way up. One last thing to note is if I have a setting that I want to get rid of in the DIY setup, you can just hit the delete button and it's going to take that out of there. Then when you're done, you can just turn it off. And that's it for installing the Tusk LED lighted whip kit on your side-by-side. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. And if you need to pick one of these up or any other accessories for your machine, you can find those on our website. Just click the link in the description below. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. So take advantage of that and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain UTV MC. Thanks for watching.